You jumped into a new pharmacy and said, all right, let's start knocking down walls. Let's change the logo. Did you immediately move into a new building or did you stay there for a little while? Seemed like you were there for a while.
Yeah, we stayed there for a few years. The thing is, in a heat zone, if you want to assume all the NPI, DEA, pharmacy permit, all the licensing, you can't change much. So you're kind of just changing the managing member on a piece of paper.
Sure.
And so then if you are going to make changes, you kind of have to do it slowly so as not to trigger a full recredential. And so that's what we did. I had the branding and the name and the logo well before I had the business.
Yeah. Well, that's the fun part, isn't
it? Because our logo is like a palm tree, mortar and pestle with waves. It's like really fun. And we did a play on the typical healthcare blue and green. We did like a teal and a lime just to make it a little more coastal. So that part's fun. The regulatory part's not so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as you did move in and start making changes, what did you see at that pharmacy that seems like, okay, these are good bones. I can build on this foundation and, here's where we're going to go a completely different direction.
Well, and not just because I'm on your podcast, but the software that they used was pretty archaic.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. So that was one of the first changes that we enacted was switching over to Pioneer in the early days. And it's always a big adjustment. And the team, it changes your every function and how you do anything in your day-to-day job. So it's a big adjustment, but we were happy. Our conversion went well. I had done a conversion in a previous hospital pharmacy and everything got scrambled. So that was an issue, but our conversion was great. So software made a big difference that we had to change. We did have a really strong technician who I tell her she came with the curtains when I bought the pharmacy. And she's still with us and she's wonderful. So she's kind of been the link to all of our patients who the pharmacy has served long before me. And so she's always the one to kind of update them, tell them what boss lady's changing and what's happening and what I'm doing and reassuring them that everything's okay. She's kind of our constant.
Yeah, that can really make a big difference just to have that consistent point of contact so that even if things are changing, I have that touch point. I still have my person. Everybody wants to, I've got a guy for that. Everybody wants to have the person in their corner that they trust. So
yeah. And all the licensing and everything was good and clean because I had to assume all the liability of that store by doing the stock purchase, but everything has been great with that. It was just a matter of the pharmacy didn't have enough services. They just filled prescriptions, but they didn't have any clinical services. They didn't have any marketing. They didn't have a Facebook page even. And now we have over 1,100 5-star reviews online, and we have a really nice website and we have a lot of clinical services now.